Flames are interesting per se. We are used to ordinary flames when we want to cook something, but can we find any extraordinary properties that are not so obvious? For instance, traveling flames following a certain path. First of all, do not try it on your own. It involves a potential danger, and I am a professional.
No!
I started with this bottle of vitamins made of plastic, and as you can see, the flames are following the curved shape of this blue circle. It looks nice, but the corners melt under increasing temperature, and hence it's just a temporary fun. Therefore, I switched to something more reliable, which has the similar shape, but you can see it just ignites and keeps burning like we are used to from cooking. I tried a different approach, so I turned around the lid and poured the liquid in the small space that is barely accessible. And it ignites, but just a bit, and after a half the circle is completed, it just burned out and disappeared. Therefore, it seems that there is a correlation between a shape of medium and our goal, and potentially amount of fuel that is available to burn. How to verify this hypothesis? I didn't have anything around to play with and try my experiments, so my only option was to print a desired shape. I assembled a 3D printer. I quickly read through the guide, and according to tutorial it shall be done in 5 minutes. Mine took around 15 to complete, so perhaps my reading skills is something desired to enhance. Finally, after leveling the bed and z-axis, I started to print two shapes, one similar to the sun and one a plain circle with an equal wall height of 5 mm and base of 5 mm as well. The inside shape, a cross section, is like a square with some bevel to it so that it's smooth. After almost 4 hours of printing, I got my circles ready and warm. Let's look at first how the fire is produced. If you want to make a fire, you need 3 components. Oxygen, and that has to be in sufficient amount. Fuel, in our case it's a vapor of a liquid lighter fluid. And last but not least, a heat source. This will be my handy lighter to give it a spark, so at the end a flame is produced. This is commonly referred to as a fire triangle. With more complex shapes like this sun, it gets a little bit more tricky. Although I once managed to ignite it so the path is clean, it was not an easy task, and I forgot to turn on my camera. Because of different corner where fluid gets a lot denser, and it creates a local fire, which then produces another traveling flames into the circuit, which makes it difficult to maintain, and corners are exposed to increased temperature, which essentially melts down the corner. Look at this. This is really cool, as it blasts flames into each ray, and it travels around the main circle. You may also download the STL objects from OscarMorris. I will put the link in the description. I tried to regulate the amount of local flames with my breath, but it is sensitive and in the end it just ceased to exist, because I think I blew away the vapor as well. It definitely takes a bit more practice to retain the flame as intended. Ignition of a fuel was an easy part. It was the way the flames traveled which makes it difficult to set up. When you set the fuel on fire, it usually produces 2 or more small flames which try to complete the circle. However, when 2 opposing flames meet, they will cancel each other out. Hence, each of those 2 completes just a half of the circle and then dies. Is there any way how we can avoid this? For sure, we may just wait a bit longer with the initial spark to produce just one more flame on one of the two sides, so when the first pair meets, they will cancel each other out. But the remaining second flame will continue its journey and complete the whole circle. Or you may quickly block one of them, which causes it to die. If there is sufficient fuel left, the remainder will continue to spin until the fuel is eventually depleted. Let's try this approach in practice on something as simple as a circle. I produced two separate flames, each running in opposite direction, and I just waited half a second more to create another one, and then quickly moved my hand away. As a result, we can see this beautiful flame that travels round and around the circle, consuming the fuel and moving headlessly towards its end. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe to support me.